Now we live. Now you can hear me. The whole world should be able to hear me now. I'm hoping so. Maybe not. There we go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Attitude for Gratitude podcast. Sam, they already see you. You might as well just sit down for a second. He's starting to already sweat. We got Josh and Sam and Mike going to give us some time tonight. First off, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the live recovery show. Thank everyone for the support and sharing the show. Go down to that little arrow on the left of your comment section, hit that, and just share with whoever you're comfortable sharing with. We talk recovery in this room. We share about our recovery. We do recovery down here at 2520 North 2nd Street. We're at Will Work for Recovery. 7 days a week, they've got these doors open. Structured meetings, early mornings, midday 1 p.m. meetings. Every day at 7 p.m. there's a meeting. 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, there's a men's meeting. 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, there's a women's meeting. They do a Bible study in this back podcast room on Sundays mornings. There's a structured AA meeting at 5. There's meetings all week long here. Good fellowship happens here. They got ping pong and foosball tables, and they got a gym, workout room. They got prayer rooms. They've got big council rooms. They got big meeting rooms, and then they got the podcast studio. They got a computer room. There's a lot happening here. But you're going to hear us talk about a lot of places tonight. We talk about 2218. It's in Alano. We talk about New Hope, Alano. We talk about Serenity Village, where a lot of us get our recovery on Tuesday nights. We do a lot of recovery across the metro. St. Paul, there's Midway Club. There's tons of stuff going on, and we're going to talk about a lot of that. If you're struggling tonight, stick with the show. Reach out. Use that comment section. And also, come on down here and grab a slice of za. We got American Pie Pizza. They're not so much as like our sponsor, but they're a partner with us, and they bring in pizza. Like right now, you see in the background, young Will is bringing in some delicious pizza from American Pie Pizza. The address there is 6529 Nicollet, American Pie Pizza, and it is dynamite. It's really good pizza, so check it out. Come on down here and get a slice of pizza, or come on down, get on the show, or come on down and watch a live show. The doors are open for anyone and everyone who wants to come be part of it, and you're welcome to come get part of it. I tell you guys this every week. If you're struggling, please reach out. You're worth this life of recovery. You're worth this happiness. We talk about it. Just please reach out. You're worth it. If no one's told you today, let me tell you, you're loved. I love you. You deserve what we have, and you're going to hear us talking about it. We struggle. Life still shows up, but we still show up. All right, let's get it going, boys and girls. Who are you, young man?
I'm Josh. I'm an addict.
Welcome, Josh.
Sam, addict.
Welcome back to the show, Sam.
I'm Mike. I'm fighting.
Welcome back to the show, Mike. So, first time on the show?
Yeah.
How'd you hear about... You know what? Wait a sec. I know that we got someone here on a schedule. I'm just fucking with you anyways. But, Sam, I know that you have obligations to give people rides because that's what we do in recovery. And I know you've got some speaking engagements coming up. You got some things coming up that I'd like for you to share about. Just real quick, check in with us. How's your recovery going?
My name's Sam, and I'm an addict.
Hey,
Recovery's going very well. I'm staying of service in multiple different areas. I'm your chair for MINAC 32.
Get right on that mic.
2025. You bring yourself to the mic. I'm your chair for MINAC 32, 2025.
Let's go.
If you want to be of service to that convention, you can get a hold of Tim, and he can get a hold of me. Tomorrow, there's a chili feed over South St. Paul.
Here, do you have the address, or what's the location or the venue? And I'll just put it in the chat section.
I just shared it on We Covery Rocks.
We Covery Rocks. You can get the address and the time and location.
Yep.
What is it?
It's a chili feed cook-off. It's a chili competition. The best chili gets free registration to MINAC.
Ooh, So it can. Did you already have to pre-register type of deal?
Look.
Or can anyone just show up with some chili?
Show up with the chili.
Ooh, it's like that. Over in St. Paul, you can just show up with chili.
I love everybody listen. I love all of y'all. I love this program. I am on ISR, baby.
All right, just tell me what you're grateful for. Tell me what your gratitude looks like.
I'm grateful for my recovery, my sponsors, my sober friends, all my sober supports, all of you guys that are listening here. And I'm going to put it on my schedule next week, and I'll be back to talk about recovery.
There you go.
So you guys have a wonderful night.
I love you, Josh. You know what to do if you're struggling, right?
Always.
What do you
Reach
do?
out and hug Tim.
I love you, buddy. I love you. Didn't know you were on a schedule. So you're speaking tomorrow at the chili cook-off?
I was just announcing the chili cook-off, but yes, you announced that I am speaking there. Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what you
That's
wanted
okay.
to do.
No, it's good. Yeah.
So you just wanted to come on and talk about there is a chili cook-off.
Yeah, there's a chili cook-off.
And you weren't going to
tomorrow,
put
and
yourself on blast
No.
about being the main speaker.
No.
All right, everybody, if you have not heard Sam's story, come on. I tortured him some time ago. Look at that. You even got family checking in.
Who?
Look at the screen, bro.
Thank you, baby.
Here,
Ricardo.
I'll put it right here. No, right here.
No
Boom.
sound.
Right there. Bottom right of the big screen.
Oh, my sister.
Yes.
Hi, sister.
We family in here. So about, I don't know, 9 months ago at 2218, I forced you in. Whatever. We got you on the show. Go back to, I don't know the exact date. Do you remember what month it was even?
It was fucking hot.
It wasn't hot. It was the middle of winter. Everyone was cold, and Sam was dripping sweat. Like, this is hot, but I get it. But if you know what, go back to the library and check out some past shows. Sam did tell his whole story, and it's a great story. Like, there was a lot of hope in there about where you came from and where you're at now, bro. I can tell you, you shared about how you got out of jail and didn't even know how to order off a menu. I'll never forget. Right. Could you just tell like Mike that story? Like,
Okay.
Explain how that went. Like, come on.
At my second meeting I went to, my sister brought me. She's sitting here watching right now. So my sister brought me to my second meeting when I got out of jail, and I went in. I asked somebody to sponsor me, and he said, "Yeah, I'll sponsor you, Poppy, but first you got to do something." I said, "Okay, what's that?" He said, "You got to walk up to 5 guys and get their phone numbers."
Look at it, because he's in the same boat. That's why I said I think you buy. He's not talking to no one.
Right. So he pointed. He was like, get his number, his number, his number, and his number. He pointed out 5 predecessors in the rooms that are doing steps and have multiple years in recovery. I said, look, man, I ain't doing that. Fuck you. Right. I honestly did. Like, I was like starting to sweat and shit, and I got real nervous. It was real awkward. Like and that's the problem is we're comfortable at the trap house or over in the hood or running the streets, but we're not comfortable asking somebody that's going to save our life for some help.
Because there's no accountability.
Right. So I told him, fuck no, I'm not doing that. Kick rocks, like hard no. And he said, look, man, if they're the plug and you were trying to get high, you'd be sitting on their front step waiting for them to get home.
Like this. That's a clap, because you know what? I don't think people correlate that, though. We say it because we're so used to saying that, but if it was the dope man, you would do anything. If it was a stranger you never met, you'd go up to him in a heartbeat to get that dope. Or the new plug.
Yeah.
What's there's no difference.
So he more or less said, look, man, them are the new plugs. Them are the ones that are gonna save your life. And it made sense to me. Like, I felt it when he said it. So I walked up to these 5 random ass dudes, got their phone numbers, and I walked back up to him, and I was like, and I was sweating. Like, you could have wrung my hoodie out. I was sweating so bad.
That's weird.
It was so fucking, like, I ain't never had so much anxiety in my life. And I walked back up and I said, will you sponsor me now? And he said, yeah, man, Poppy, I'll sponsor you. But first, you got to do something else. I said, what's that? He said, you got to come out to eat with us now. And this is my second meeting. I just got out of jail. I said, look, man, I ain't got no money. I just got out of prison, my one day in prison, whatever. I just got out of prison. I ain't got no money. My sister gave me a ride. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going. He said, I ain't ask you none of that. You can tell your normal ass sister to go home, because she was talking about she smokes weed and drinks and she just didn't want to see her little brother get high no more. And he was like, tell her to go home. And you're coming with me, and that dude right there that you got the phone number from, he's going to give you a ride home, and I'm going to buy your meal. And he said, treat your recovery like you treat your addiction, and you're going to be okay. Right? And I said, okay. It made sense. I felt it. I told my sister to go home. She said, okay, what? Go home? Fucking weird. I remember looking at me crazy, and you're like, you're fucking weird. And later on, I found out she went straight to the bar to celebrate that her little brother was going to get clean.
She celebrated you're clean.
Yeah,
You're clean.
yeah. She went straight to the bar to go celebrate. And I went out to eat. And sitting at the restaurant, man, and I looked at the menu, and it had dawned on me, man, like I have never really sat down at a restaurant before.
Let's go home, bro.
I looked at the menu and I didn't know what to order. There wasn't one fucking picture. It was half in Spanish, and like I looked to my left, I looked to my right. There was 40 people there, and
You
I
just
was
kinda,
like,
you get in your head or like,
I more or less handed him the menu and said, bro, I don't know what to order, right? And he said, hey, Poppy, he's the Dominican guy. He said, Poppy, it's right here. It's highlighted, right? It's highlighted on the menu. It's the favorite, and it's a wet burrito from Acapulco. It's just a basic restaurant, right? And from there on out, man, I ain't never stopped going. I keep going. I keep showing up. I've never been so uncomfortable in my life. So I'll just keep showing up and keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm not gonna share too much because I share my story tomorrow. I can just say, from the addict who couldn't order off a fucking basic menu to the addict who's now gonna host MNAC, Minnesota Narcotics Anonymous Convention 2025 at the Doubletree Bloomington Hilton. Right, so there's the hope shot. Like, I went from not knowing how to order off a menu to like.
this is
booking-
your life.
Yes, I live recovery, 100%, and I save dogs. So if you need a dog, holler at me. I'm out.
Wait. Where do you, how?
Pit Squad Rescue.
Pit Squad Rescue. Sam, well, I know you want to do the whole mic drop. Tell me about your gratitude before you leave the show.
I'm grateful to be free. I'm grateful to be clean. I'm grateful for my recovery family. I'm grateful my sister's up there listening to me, and I love her to death. I'm grateful for like everything, like I'm grateful that I'm not dead, and I'm grateful I'm not in jail. I'm grateful that God gave me grace instead of mercy.
Oh yeah. Thank you for hey, thanks for coming on.
Love you guys.
Love you. All right. Hey, you're up next. Come on. Yes, you. Yes, get up here.
You don't know my name.
I don't want to say it. You're going to tell us your name. Who are you, young man?
I am George.
George, welcome to the show. Who are you, young lady?
Took a fake name like George.
No, I swear that's my real name. I swear to God. Hey, I've known this guy for years.
Yeah.
It's not George.
Yeah, it's George.
It's George. You want to see my ID?
It's better than Boy George. All right, listen. Who are you?
I'm Jennifer, and I'm an alcoholic and an addict.
Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi,
So,
Jennifer.
Mike, last week you got on here and we started opening the show up, and 10, 15 minutes later, I finally look at my phone. I have 10 missed calls. And I look at the chat board, and everyone's like, no sound, no sound. And I had a lot of people like, we didn't hear anything about you. So, First question, how do you know about Will Work for Recovery?
Well, I went to Twin Town in St. Paul, which was a inpatient intensive treatment center, and I ended up going to New Way Aftercare outpatient. And they was talking about it there, so I came, and it's right down the street.
Right, okay. Tell us about what it was like when you walked in. What was the vibe you got, the feeling? Like, did you feel welcome? Or, like, tell us about that.
It reminded me of a clean trailer park, all the stuff on the ceiling. Like, I was like,
I
oh
haven't
shit.
heard that one yet.
It's like, damn.
A clean trailer park?
Yeah, you know how you go in a trap and it's like they got shit everywhere?
Yeah, yep.
And it's like, it's that, but the opposite.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Welcome to the Clean Trap House.
Clean trap house.
Sobriety by the gram.
So,
Yeah, right.
shit, that's what when you were on the show, someone was correlating recovery. Like, each person's like another gram of dope. Like, you got to get your dope up.
There you go.
How long have you been doing recovery for?
Since January 7th,
So you got like what? Well, you're up to 50 days now?
something like that.
50 days.
not even
This
counting.
isn't something you've been doing your whole adult life or not.
No.
This is it. This is the first go round.
Yeah.
All right. And
Good job.
where's them two little beautiful girls I see running around?
They keep running back and forth, eating pizza and candy. They're confused.
I bet on a sugar and pizza high. Jennifer,
What?
how do you know about Will Work for Recovery? I've never got to ask you this.
That's a good question because you sure didn't tell me.
I guess I didn't. You're gonna blame it on? You seen me at New Hope Al-Anon and you never told me about it.
Exactly.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you hear about it?
Met a dude named Cheerio. He was in prison with another dude that comes here, and we've been coming here ever since they got out of the clinker.
Okay. Cheerio.
See in here?
Yeah, right behind you. So, what's your thoughts on this place? I guess I should ask it this way. Imagine you're talking to someone who's never been here. Explain it to them from your point of view.
So I did explain it to a friend the first time I came here. It's like a speakeasy of recovery.
I love it. I love it.
Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of clever. I like that.
Okay,
Without the drinking, right?
Right,
Right,
of
yeah.
recovery.
Of
Yeah.
Are
recovery.
you comfortable
Yeah.
coming here?
I do. Yep, I like it here. I like the fact that when you walk in the door, there's people that are always sitting right by the front door there, say hello to you. You know,
Welcoming you.
right? Yeah. So there's another clubhouse that I go to that doesn't quite have that
Talk
figured
about
out yet.
talk about like I go to New Hope Alano.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's where you're talking about,
Yeah.
but we're not stingy about recovery. This is not the only recovery spot in Minneapolis. And Paul or Carolyn, the founders of this place, will tell you the same. Like, if this place ain't for you, find some recovery.
Yeah.
I say it at the beginning of the show and the end. Like, find some happiness. We all deserve to have some happiness and to have this clean life.
Yeah.
And if this might not be the spot for you. This just might not be. A lot of people, they'll come here on Tuesdays and Thursdays because it's not as big as it is now. Like on
Right.
Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, you're talking almost 100+ people. But it also, a lot of people are like, that has helped my recovery so much to be around that many people. George, how did you originally hear about Will Work for Recovery?
Well, right now I'm currently at the ARC, and
Is that Salvation?
yeah,
Wait,
Salvation
okay,
Army.
okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's a 6-month program, inpatient kind of with like lodging, I guess, or. But anyway, I don't know. It's like from people there, I guess.
So how would you explain this to someone who's never been here?
Dude, it's just it's a cool spot to come for some good meetings, man. Some good people, good fellowship, It's I've been to a lot of meetings and stuff, and this one's got its own unique like flavor, character.
You're in the right place. Come on, get in here.
I mean, yeah, if looking for and if you're looking for a good group of people that are like a little more down to earth and a little more laid back and like, but still take this thing seriously, I mean, this is the spot to be. So,
All right, so here's a question for all three of you. And just yes or no. Don't need no stories. Do you have a sponsor?
yes, I do.
Do you have a sponsor?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a sponsor?
No, I don't.
How did you find your sponsor? How did you get it? How did you get your sponsor? What'd you do?
So I've been in the community for 5 years. Been going to New Hope all 5 years. They have a newcomers meeting Sunday at 2.
2 o'clock.
The lady that runs
She
that.
still runs it?
She still does.
I could just hear braces. What's her name?
No braces.
Yeah, she had braces for a while. She was an adult. What's her name?
Oh, Lene.
Lene. Yeah, she had braces for a while. Yeah, Lene.
She did have jaw surgery.
Yeah, Joss or whatever. She's the nicest new. She's been doing that meeting for a long time, and she's very welcoming. I went to that meeting for about 2 years solid. Like
That's probably where we met.
Yeah, and it's a great meeting. So it's a newcomers meeting. What that means is it's built for someone with 50 days, someone who's never been in recovery. You go there, and everyone makes you feel welcome, and it just it's an introduction to recovery. You start early steps. I think they repeat 1, 2, and 3.
That's it. Yep.
Yes. So you went there, and what happened? How'd you get your sponsor?
I just asked. You just gotta ask.
You just asked?
Gotta ask.
You what,
I'm
you're-
not gonna lie. I didn't work the program for the first 4 years. She's probably pretty fed up with me. But this last go around here, I mean, it's only been a couple months, and I went up to her. I said, Lene.
Oh, you asked Lene.
I
She's
said,
your
I'm sorry.
sponsor. There
you go.
Yeah, she was my sponsor back then 5 years ago, and I just never did any work with her. Never really, went to my Sunday meetings. That was about it.
So you
And,
walked around with the title of having a sponsor,
Yeah.
but didn't know steps.
Yeah, for sure. And then 4 years later, I was like, I'm tired. We got to do this the right way.
So you work
you
the
go.
steps now.
There you go.
We're working on yeah.
Has your life changed at all? It's all suckers. Sorry. There is one reason. You know what, you guys? Hey, check it out. You guys can bring candy to the show too.
Weird.
I've dropped probably $300 on candies in the last 3 months.
Dang, I think that's a tax deductible. Right?
No,
He saw
I
that
do it because
Reese's.
I'm able to. I love it. So it wasn't like, hey, and Mike, this for you to hear. You don't have to look. You got it in your ears.
So
How scary was it to ask someone to be your sponsor?
It was more scary to ask her the second time because I had gone 4 years, 5 years without actually working the program. So I was more nervous to ask her again, like, hey, I know I've been fucking off for the last 5 years. So it's time to get serious. Like, I got to do this shit this time. So I think it was more nerve-wracking to ask her the second time because I've known her for so long now, and she knows that I've always had 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, and haven't really been serious or worked the program. So, but of course she accepted right away, and
And I guess I'm saying this because I know your next step is to get a sponsor. Mike.
yeah, I was about to ask you.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
How does that look? Let's do, something we've never done on air. Go ahead. What were you going to ask me?
Hey, Tim, I was wondering, could you be my sponsor?
One requirement. You got my phone number, right?
Yeah, man.
Pick a time right now on air, and you're going to call me the next 4 days in a row at that time. What time you calling me?
Oh, what?
Most sponsors won't do that. I don't know what other people do.
So
but
Don't
this
say
is- I'm gonna tell
420.
you- I'm going to tell you right now. I've asked this of anyone who's asked me to
4
sponsor
days
them.
in a row.
4 days in a row. And you'll call and I'll be like, what's good? Duh, duh, duh. All right, cool. Talk to you tomorrow.
Da-da-da-da-da.
4 days ain't bad, dude. My old sponsor,
Yeah.
they call for 90.
I know some people are like, you better call me with a gratitude. No, just so
One-
I know
1
you-
o'clock.
1 o'clock. All right, and I'll hear from you.
PM or AM?
PM.
All right.
So just call me for the next 4 days at 1 o'clock.
All right.
Just to check in, whatever. It might just be, all right, good. Talk to you tomorrow. And then we'll start on some step work. Look at that. You got a sponsor.
Right?
They dropped his cherry.
But I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's not to help you. I'm sponsoring you because it's going to keep me sober. Straight up.
That's at least you're honest.
Me sponsoring
It's
you.
like-
I hope you don't go back out, but I guarantee while I'm sponsoring you, I will stay clean. You'll see what I'm talking about down the road.
Okay.
I'm just that's how this program works.
More will be revealed.
Yeah.
So tell me
Only
about
what you give.
how was your experience with your sponsor?
Mine?
Yeah.
Which one? All right, no.
The one you have now.
The one I have now. All right. So the gentleman I have now, he's very involved. What are you doing down there?
I know, right?
he was in an awkward
Whoa,
position.
whoa there, bud. And that comes with the sponsor thing. I was like,
Yeah, I was just introducing him to the program.
I come with the package. Hey, Tim, you mean my sponsor too? No, just kidding. What's up, bro?
If you play your cards right.
Hey, right. Dang, bro. No, all right.
Although you will have a good story. Be like, yeah, I asked my sponsor on air.
on
Yep,
air, dude.
on live. That's why I wanted to do it, so you couldn't say no.
I've in the past been like, no, I just can't right now, but here's a number for someone to call or
All right.
No, it's going to help me more than it's going to help you.
Okay.
Hopefully it helps you, but real talk. Like,
Yeah.
we do it's this 12th step. I give back so freely what was given to me.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Talk to me.
Anyway,
Come
all
on.
right, so mine. All right, my sponsor is a gentleman. He comes into the Salvation Army, and he actually speaks and does like big book study. And he does like a 12 steps 101. So I mean, he's an older gentleman. He's pretty like experienced with the program. So he's really strict though. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it should be going good. I'm excited. I don't know if Glenn Rank is his name. I don't know if you know him.
No, but it's a good thing you're over here dropping names.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I know how it was. You're like, look at me. I got a sponsor name. Da, da, da.
I know, right? I don't know, dude. He's all right. We'll see how it goes. I was
First
kind of iffy
name's
about him.
on
I was almost about to drop him because like he hadn't done no like actual step work with me, but
I mean, here's the
we
thing.
have a plan next Wednesday to go to
It's
meetings.
for you. Like, you
is.
can ask my sponsor. He'll tell you, Tim beats my door down. I did for the first year. Like, come on. Thought we were hooking up to do this step. Hop, bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
So, here's what we're going to do now. Mike,
Yeah.
you're going to tell me about what's your goals. Why'd you get into recovery? Why are you doing this? And then Jake's going to come take over, and I'm going to get him guests.
Well, at first it was strictly because I was CPS ordered, and I wanted
Child
my,
Protection Services.
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
and I wanted my kids back, but then I realized I was never really sober, so since I was like 9 or 10 years old, I really haven't been sober unless it was like jail time.
Right.
And I wanted to be a full me for a change. So I want my kids to have a full me. So
We talked about that last week. Like,
yeah.
I know I shared, like, for me, I started smoking weed at 12 or 13. And realistically, I have not known who I am sober, clean, with a clear head, ever, until I got into recovery. I can kid myself and say, but this, but that. Nope. There was always either some reefers, alcohol, opiates,
Reefers.
something, marijuana, alcohol, and
You in here for some marijuana?
methamphetamine. He's in here for sucking dick for crack.
I seen him.
Yeah, that's in the background. So here, I'm gonna get Jake on here. I don't think you've met Jake yet, but this is one of my partners from New Hope. He's good shit. You guys hold tight, and I'm gonna be coming up to you and bumping you. But before you get off, you have to talk about your gratitude. I'll be hearing from you at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Decent. I will.
I was waiting for you to be like, yeah, but I got something going on. No.
No.
No, and I'm not going nowhere. You guys this is where me and Jake could be switching back and forth. I might come back on. He might, we flip and flop. That's how we do this.
Flipping flop. All right, cool.
All right, now, you guys buckle up because he's coming with some hard-hitting, pipe-hitting questions.
Pipe.
Pipe hitting questions.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, pipe hitting. We lay pipe over here.
There we go. There we go.
Matter of fact, Jake, here, put your butt up once. Butt up? No, yeah, butt up, in there. There we go. Right, there you go. You're catching on the rub. Good?
Oh.
There you go. Sit down.
All right. So what were you guys talking about before? I was not paying
You're coming
attention.
in fresh with all new questions.
All new questions.
All the questions, yeah.
All right. Who was
questions.
the last one to get bothered?
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike was.
I think all three of us. No, I'm just him.
I was asking about sponsors, how they got their sponsors. And then Mike asked me to sponsor.
Okay, so Mike just got a sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Congratulations, Mike.
yeah, way to
Thank you.
go.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a step in the right direction. Now it only works if you actually use them,
Right.
right? So
Works if you work it.
Correct.
tell me,
Jennifer.
Jennifer, how do you utilize your sponsor?
That's a really good question. So I just got my first, she was my sponsor before. We just went through this whole story. You know? She was my sponsor before. I had to re-ask her after 5 years of knowing her, but she's been in Hawaii for the last month. So I did a little bit of work by myself, but now that she's back, then we'll start getting together and working these steps.
Okay, are you calling her?
She literally is like on a plane right now coming back from Hawaii.
I didn't say today or right now. You said in the
She's
last
been-
month, right?
For a month she's been
So
in Hawaii.
for that last month, have you been calling her?
No, she's in Hawaii.
So for the last month, you have not utilized your sponsor in any
That
way.
is what I said, yes.
Okay.
I asked her.
Are ready? Husband and wife over there. Come up.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm feeling bullied.
That's what I do.
You're feeling popular. It's not bullied.
How about you? What's your name?
George.
George. George, what do you do to utilize your sponsor?
Oh, well, first, go through the big book, I guess, right?
So you're
First
meeting with your
164
sponsor?
pages, yep. I
Okay.
see him every week. Right now, I'm at a place right now, I'm at the ARC, so it's like a work rehab, and we don't have cell phones, but like I said, my sponsor does come in like once a week, and it does like a class for us, and then like Wednesday mornings, we go to a meeting together, doing step work. I'm working on my 4-step right now, so.
Right on.
Yep.
Did I make it yet?
Getting there.
I'll get
Here,
there. I'll
get
get
there.
there.
Get
You
there.
give me like 5 more minutes. I'll get on there.
All right, there we go. That's what's up. That's what, hey, more power to you, dude. Please. So
All
yeah.
right. So I'm gonna move to the next part here. What motivates you to stay active in recovery?
Well, all right. So at one point, I had like 5 years sobriety, and around COVID is when I relapsed. So I mean, I got kids and stuff, family. You know, I stopped talking. I just lost everything, dude. So lost my job, good job, my kids, my girlfriend at the time. You know, so I mean, I just kind of rebuilding my life, I guess.
I mean, let me rephrase the question because, like, you know, a lot of things motivate us, like friends, family, children, jobs. Like that's a motivation to continue moving forward. I'm saying what motivates you to stay active in recovery, because like there are a lot of times where I will want to sit on my ass and not do anything. I would like to be at home playing video games, no pants on, like Doritos, the whole 9 yards, right? So I have to there has to be something has to motivate me to actually want to stay active, because when like the Jake inside of me wants to do that, and there's whenever I listen to that guy, it ends up getting me in places I don't want to be. Like, it doesn't get me high recently, and for whatever reason, but what it does get me is resting on my laurels.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm digging into.
Okay, yeah. Well, for me, like the whole AA thing, I mean, this is fun for me, dude. I love it. So I mean, and like right now, I'm in inpatient treatment kind of right now, So and like we work and then we go to classes. So I mean, this is my out time, dude. And like I've always loved going to AA. I love people. I love the fellowship, So I mean, that keeps me coming back, a lot. This is like my rec time. So, yeah.
This is your rec time.
This is my rec time, dude. Yeah. So seriously, yeah, for real. They work our butts off over there, man. So yeah, it's awesome. I mean, yeah, it's good community. Good. It's it's nice to go someplace where like people know you and you feel like you're genuinely actually cared about, you know, versus like being out there on the street, you know, where like nobody really gives, you know, two shits about you or whatever.
They just act like they do.
Act like they do.
Yeah, you got all quiet there. He's like, two shits about you.
I don't know. Can we swear on the show? I don't know. Am I in trouble?
No, like
All right, we're good,
I
we're
can
good,
tell
right?
you right now that nobody in that fucking trap house is ever going to call me and be like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah, dude. You know, yeah.
They
let
need
me
your
phrase
money.
that. There was one guy, like I didn't like when after I had like 4 months sober, I randomly got a call from a different number because I got rid of that guy. He's like, "Oh man, I thought you overdosed and died." And I was like, "You still need any?" I'm like, "No."
First thing they ask, right? I know, right,
need
dude?
anything?
Yeah, exactly. Or the only people that hit you up, yeah, you got a bag? You know, it's like, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Either that or it's my like PO now. You know.
I just talked to my PO for like a half hour that
Did you?
day.
Yeah, man. No good. No good. I just got put on probation, so I mean.
Jennifer, what motivates you to stay active in recovery?
So I had like a pivotal change here after 5 years of being in the community. 2022, I did 9 months sober, did a little more research, came back, spent all of 2023 sober. My goal was to make it till both of my children were adults and out of the house. They're now adults and out of the house. And I cannot go back.
We all heard that.
Yeah, that was really loud.
You were not sneaky.
My bad. These are good mics.
Did you think you were
They
sneaky?
really are.
These are good mics.
They really are.
I like that's the other part is like no matter how much I thought I could bullshit and when I was getting high, that's what it like ended up being, right? I thought I was really good at getting away with shit, but really it's like just like that. Everybody was like
Everybody knows.
everybody knows.
Can't hide it.
So Mike, what are you doing to stay what motivates you actually to pursue recovery?
My little girls. My girls and myself. Thank you, baby.
Do you want can you dig in a little bit more on that?
Well, I've had them their whole life. So when CPS walked in and took them away from me while I was in jail, it was the most heartbreaking thing. And I tried to blame everybody else, but it was me selling drugs, using drugs that got me in the situation. So gotta appreciate myself, the process, and them.
Right on. So as you're moving forward here and you're taking what's the next step look like for you right now?
I have to.
We just saw you get a sponsor, right? Like that
Right.
was live broadcast. You getting
Yeah,
a sponsor.
so I gotta work with my sponsor. Gotta work with CPS, get housing, stay clean. They want me to get a job.
They want me to get a job.
Yeah.
Like a real job, like a job job,
Yeah,
or
like a job, like paying taxes job. I've probably gotten taxes twice in my entire life. So I'm to appreciate the process like a friend tells me.
Yeah.
I'd
Just be
recommend
grateful, bro. Be
going
grateful.
into sales.
Sales, there you go.
I definitely could go into sales.
Right. I mean, that's what I ended up going into sales, and look at that. I am natural at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought an addict? Addicts could sell bullshit all their life. They can sell whatever it is that's on the other side of the table, saying like, "Hey,
Genius.
buy the thing."
Yeah, I can definitely sell you anything.
There you go.
You don't even want it.
right? Dude, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, somebody said clean money, dirty hands. I'm a desk jockey. My hands are soft as shit and clean. Like I don't know about that, but
I have rough hands and I've never done hard work in my life.
Really? Oh, yeah. There you go. I've welded for years. I want to get out of there and get into sales or something. I think real estate. Actually, I want to do sober housing. I really.
I mean,
wanna
like
do.
I would say like yeah for sure, but like at the things that I sell are welded like finished products, so I need
Oh, there you go.
welders. And,
You need
like,
welders? I know, right? Everyone needs a welder, dude.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, right now what I'm working at is we actually work for pretty much it's like volunteer kind of work. So we only get like right now I work 40 hours a week and then I get paid I'm at like $30 a week. So I mean, but we're actually working to pay.
I'll
for the
give you
next
$40
guy.
a week. You want to come work?
Prison wages.
I know, right? It's bad. I know. It's like, hey,
25 cents an hour.
but they pay for our house. Yeah, they pay for our housing. They pay for our food. I mean,
So it's a
and
program
clothes
that
us.
teaches you how to weld and stuff like that?
No, it's a rehab program.
Oh,
It's
okay.
at Salvation Army, the adult rehabilitation program. So I mean, you know, it's humbling, put it that way.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
a good way to put it. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, you're not sitting here complaining and being like, oh, I have to do this stuff
Yeah.
for $30, and it's like, no,
No.
I get to, you know, do this experience and get humbled a little bit, but I have housing, I have food, I have, you know,
Well,
the
yeah.
other things that are like, you know, I take for granted.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like they got it's a 12-step program. There's a lot of there's a lot of church kind of spiritual program too, Christian based, and 12-step based, and I don't know, it's really cool, man. It's interesting because like the way they put it is like you're working to pay for the next guy, and you're not like mooching off the government, or you're not like, you know, you don't have to have insurance to go there. They have an open door policy.
Right.
So there's a lot of you know, a lot of desperation when you walk through those doors, you know, which is good. Is what you need.
Yeah,
you know?
desperation's a gift.
Yeah, it
you
is
know,
really
there's two things I think are really overlooked. Is one is desperation, and then the other thing is the just not running.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
because
Just
we're really good at running away from our problems.
Yeah, facing your demons.
So.
You know.
All right. Well, I know you guys said you're ready to like not get bullied anymore. Are
Yes,
you sure?
please.
Because like I can keep going.
I'm good.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna go home.
No.
It's my second meeting of the night. I'm
Is that
ready.
it?
Listen, I work. though. I'm also in sales. I just don't sell anything.
I went to 2 meetings today. It's like, well, how many times? No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you now.
Did you ever go to Tuesday Night Grace? A long time ago.
I don't. Tuesday night grace.
Grace Trinity.
I would say that's a no
Uptown?
because she looked at you like, what the hell are
You
you
look like
talking about? She was like, I don't
5
know.
years ago. No.
Somebody else has your face.
Yeah.
Well, before I
Yeah.
kick you guys off, I need to get your gratitude.
All right. My gratitude. I'm just grateful for my sobriety, grateful for God, grateful for fellowship, for my family.
Right on. Well, thanks, George.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
There's somebody over there that I
All
need you to
right,
find
George.
that is supposed to come on the show.
Husband and a wife?
Yeah, husband and wife. Can you find them?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
Yep. No problem.
Jennifer, what are you grateful for?
Find both of them.
I'll find them now.
So my first meeting I went to today, we read from the big book a story, and it reminded me that where I'm from, where I graduated high school from, small town, and you know, we learn that when we're gonna be going into high stressful situations that we need to have our stuff set up and ready to go. So when I go to holidays out in Wisconsin, I was like, well, let me find meetings in the area. There aren't any. When you live in a town of 800 people, there aren't meetings. There's one a week in the county. And it probably didn't fall on Christmas. So that's fantastic. So I'm just grateful to be down here in the cities where you can literally go. Like I said, I'm on my second meeting of the day, just today. So I'm
Where it's
grateful.
abundance of meetings.
I'm grateful that you can just go wherever and catch a meeting.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll pass. Have
Thanks,
a great
Jennifer.
night.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you, Jennifer.
And wherever those people are, can you tell them like, hey, Mike's
I
already?
think that's the husband right there.
So, Mike,
Yeah.
I'll ask these guys here in a minute, but I'm gonna ask you since it's a little more personal in this moment. Can you tell me something that you had to learn the hard way?
So many different things. Something I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, like something that you had to learn the hard way that impacts and influences you right now.
Care about yourself. Care about yourself. You can't worry or disturb yourself about things that's happening outside of you.
Dig into that. How did you get there?
Well,
I'm good.
it was-
I'm
I was in
the guy
jail.
that digs, right? Like
Yeah.
I do that.
Well, I was in jail, and there was a lot of reasons where I could point out to people, but then it was like, if I wouldn't have been in the life or doing or selling drugs, it wouldn't have happened. Anything wouldn't have happened if I would have just got a job, or if I would have just not sold drugs or anything like that. So I had to learn that lesson the hard way, like focus on yourself and better yourself. So that kind of bothered me.
Right.
A little bit bothered me.
So in that process, I'm guessing. I'm correct me if I'm wrong here. In that process, there was a lesson also along that line of taking responsibility.
Yeah, accountability, responsibility, and realizing who really get affected in my life, and that's my kids. So
You mentioned your kids a few times, so it's obvious that you are you're very proud papa, I should say.
yeah, I'm the only parent.
So, but I mean, I can tell you love those girls,
Yeah.
right? And the fact that you mentioned them however many times, right? This isn't
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah,
Means that that's the first thing that you're thinking about, and the last thing that you're thinking about.
yeah.
So,
And first thing I have to think about is myself, so I can care about them.
right.
So that was a harsh reality I had to come to.
And now that you get now you get to be present, right? Like, because
Oh, yeah.
we heard today in the meeting that one of the biggest your kids don't want you to financially try to make up for it. Like, your kids don't want you to buy their love.
No,
They want your time.
they just want the time. And normally we would just go shopping all the time because they was with me all the time and I didn't have anything to do. So we would go shopping and eating, and now they just want to hang out.
So have you have you had a few tea parties then?
No, they're not into that. They wanna dance and flip all day.
So have you done TikTok videos dancing with them yet?
No, we do it in our own time. Like, we listen to Michael Jackson
Hey,
and
any
stuff
day
like
now,
that.
it's coming. Once they figure out like those TikTok trends with the parents,
Oh, they definitely know it.
they-
I'm just not around them enough to do it now. So once that happens, they're gonna definitely be on it. They're definitely gonna be on it. Do this.
well, who do I have on the show now?
I'm Sean.
Get on that mic.
I'm Sean.
Hey, Sean,
Maria.
Mar-
Maria.
Maria.
Yep.
Sean and Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Is this your guys' first time on the show?
First time on the show,
Yeah.
yes.
First time. Well, welcome to the show. Have you guys been to Woolwork before?
Yes, this is our second weekend here. We liked it so much last weekend we came back.
All right. Well, tell me your first impression when you walked in.
Relaxing,
Relaxing.
yes.
How about you, Maria? What was your first impression?
That was really welcoming. So I love that. Yep.
Right on. Yeah, it's an important thing because if I don't feel comfortable somewhere, like, I'm not going back.
Yep.
Right.
If I wasn't comfortable, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yep.
Right. If I walk in somewhere and the vibe's off, like, or if I walk in somewhere and everyone's kind of like staring at their phones, like, it's not going to leave an impression on me. So I'm probably going to say, like, I'm going to stick around for that night, but I'm not going to sit here on my next Friday night to be like, you know where I want to go? That place where everybody just didn't pay attention to me. Now, there's been plenty of times in my life where it's like, oh, I love being left alone. But when I'm looking for a meeting, that's the last thing I'm looking for.
I liked it so much that I actually invited my friend up from St. Cloud, and he drove all the way up here and picked us up and came up here. He's over there chilling by himself right now.
Wow, right on.
He's right behind you.
Oh yeah,
Fair.
he's in the audience. He's watching.
Yes, he's watching.
All right. Well, so you guys came up here. Last week was your first week.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you guys? Did anybody brief you on what to expect in the show?
Not really.
No?
No.
No, but we're ready.
We're open. I'm
Okay.
open
Yeah,
to
I
any
dig
questions.
in with recovery questions, and if I don't like your answer, I tell you to elaborate. So, I don't take the vague. I don't take the short. Because this show is broadcasted far and wide, and I don't know how far wide, but the people that come on here, they're listening for recovery. So if you tell me what are you grateful for, you'd be like, oh, I'm just so grateful to have a place to go. I'm like, but that's the end of the question. So I'm going to start off the question I just asked Mike. I'm going to start off with you guys. Tell me something you had to learn the hard way.
Had to learn the hard way. You don't really know what you have until it's gone. And by meaning of that is I've been married 9 years with my beautiful wife, Maria.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Once she was taken away from me, you realize what you messed up by your things that you've done in your past. And it's just not worth it. You want a better life. So you don't really realize what you have until it's gone. And truthfully, I don't know about you, but I had to hit my rock bottom before I actually realized I have to change. And that's why I'm here. I mean, this isn't my first time through treatment. I'm 91 days today, by the way.
Congratulations.
This is my third time in treatment, but this time it feels different, and I'm treating it different, and it's working so far.
So far.
So
That's
far.
good. That's good. Maria, what is something you had to learn the hard way?
Do not take anything for granted. So,
Dig into that. So tell me, what did you like? What did you take for granted that you had to learn not to take things for granted?
well, for me, recovery is a big thing. So, I'm just getting older, not younger. So I need to, start doing this to be happy in life, and because things that I don't like to be doing, I want to be, successfully and happy about it. So, you
Right
know,
on.
so, yeah.
We weren't perfect parents. We want to rebuild everything with not only my children, with her children as well. And it's going to take a little time. I mean, you got 20 years of drinking, they've seen it all. So now it's time to give them 20 years of not drinking, or 40 years, or 50, or whatever. It's not something that's going to be overnight, but it is something we do have to prove to them. So, and now we have grandchildren to go in the mix. So we have a lot to look forward to, and a lot to regain. It's not going to be an easy road.
I would say, yeah. I mean, if I look back, easy was, it's the way you translate it, right? Because is it easy? Yeah, the principles are easy enough to follow. It's actually easy. Like you hear all the time, it's an easy program for complicated people. No, it's a complicated program for easy people because, I make, like, I heard that yesterday, and I might be butchering it, but it's the whole concept of everything actually is simple enough. It's 9 times out of 10, I'm thinking too much, or it's going against every instinct I have formed in my life, and I'm like, oh man, that's where it gets hard. Where they talk about it's not easy. No, it's really not easy to try to go against an instinct that was formed for 20 years, right? That is the tough part. But trust God, clean house, help others. Like that's the real the thing of the program, and the 3 things that you need to go through with that is honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, right? So when I first came in, I was told just stop thinking for a little bit because I overthink a lot, right? And I like to think myself as an intellectual. So I overthink everything. I have to analyze this and understand and comprehend and see the pros and cons and whatever. Pie chart this, not really, but like what it really came down to, my sponsor just said, stop thinking about it. In the very beginning, when this book says do something, do it, right? And I said, but what if? And he goes, you're already thinking. And he's just follow this, and he said, if you start thinking, give me a call. So I said, okay. And then I wouldn't call him for a couple of days, and I'd see him in person and just run off with everything that I had to talk about. And he's like, how long have you been thinking about this? I'm like,
Too much, too long.
well, 3 days. So then it turned into a game to just call my sponsor with everything I was thinking about. And eventually the mind starts to slow down a little bit because you get more into the book and situations come up and like, oh yeah, I remember, reading this in this type of situation, do this, or, pause. That's something I never used to be able to do, is just pause in a moment. And that's not easy against the old instincts. But after doing it, if you stay open-minded and willing to keep going, it'll become a new instinct, and faster than it took 20 years to form the one you got now. So, if I could be encouraging, right? It might be hard, but it really doesn't take that long. As long as for me, right? I can tell you for me, it didn't take that long. As soon as I got out of the way, as soon as I got out of the way. So if I to pass on anything, make sure you don't get in your own way. So I went on a tangent, and none of you stopped me.
I was just listening.
Yeah.
What was the three things you say?
I was
Something,
listening.
clean house, and
So the program comes down to like 3 general ideas.
okay,
Trust God,
okay,
clean house, help others.
okay.
And then you do that with honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Because along that way, as we learn these new things, there's going to come something that challenges you, and you're like, I don't want to do that. Well, that's why they call it the program and not Jake's program. Jake's program got him high and detoxing in his bed and all these other things. And, like I said at the meeting, sweaty bed sheets, right? Because that was me detoxing and going through withdrawal. Is I was just sweating out in the bed sheets, and I got sober in February. It was -6 outside that day.
Wow.
So
Congratulations. Right.
well, yeah, it was 2 years ago. So
Yep.
I remember, even though it's however long ago, I remember exactly what it was like, just having those sweaty bedsheet moments. So,
I just saw my sister's on your messenger board.
who's your sister?
It says Anna Maria.
All right, let's put her on the show.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Sean, she is so proud of you.
I don't know.
Is that what you said?
That's what she said.
Okay. I can't see that far, but yeah.
So, are you guys ready for a little more pushback,
Sure.
I guess?
I'm ready.
I will try to stop ranting, too.
This seems like it's a hard thing, huh?
I get excited.
That's dope.
I get really excited. Like the book actually talks about frequent contact with newcomers and each other is the bright spot of our lives. So new people coming in just gets me lit up on fire. I'm excited.
That's your gram of sobriety.
That's my what?
Gram of sobriety.
My grandma's sobriety. Yeah, it's part of it, right? So the way I like the way that was put by Tim. My sponsor always says that my alcoholism or addiction, right? Because I go through the program at AA, but my drink of choice was fentanyl. So, I like that joke a lot too.
Okay.
But so the way he says is that my disease is like going up a downwards escalator. The only time I ever meet the top is, when I meet God. But I go up this escalator. If I meet with my sponsor, I take a step up. If I call another guy or person in recovery, I try to stick to men, right? Because I'm a guy, so
Yep.
I call other men in the program. I take another step up. If I go to a meeting, I take another step up. But I have to keep taking these steps because the escalator is constantly going down. If I pause in my recovery, if I rest on my laurels, I'm going to start sliding backwards. And I'm not going to realize it until it's too late. So that's that gram of sobriety or that step up in the escalator. That's my sponsor for you. He always tells the escalator analogy when the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
Am I not exciting? I'm sorry.
Well, when you said you had to pause yourself from thinking, I had to learn that in jail.
Oh.
Yeah.
So go on. What was the situation that actually taught you that?
Well, I got extradited through 4 different states. Like every time I got off a case, I would get extradited to another state. So it was like dealing with a bunch of different dudes and their own ego and everything. So instead of like interacting and getting into fights and stuff, I just, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Because once CPS got involved, I was like, I can't get into no more trouble. I can't. So just let the guy go on their rants. And
Let them have their head about it.
yeah,
I hated that term, but let them have their head about it.
yeah, and it'd be like, oh man, I feel like a bitch right now. But you know what? It's worth it. So I had to learn that the hard way too.
Right on. That there used to be like these little things everywhere where I could run on questions and have some type of motivation or inspiration. Like that one's dumb, right? About life on other planets. We're here to talk recovery, not aliens, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So, oh God, I opened up to a page where this one's great. Are you waiting for? Okay, so This is
He's gonna go to a self-reading podcast.
yeah, self-reading podcast. Watch me read. But this is very early in the big book, page 20. This is first step work. When people come in and they're probably the first or second time they're sitting down with their sponsor, this page actually gives me something that I can focus on as a purpose, and actually helps me get my self-worth from something outside of, do people think I'm a bitch, or am I doing well at my job, or does she think I'm sexy? Right? Because I used to get my self-worth out of like how much money I could make, the women that I could get with, whatever value,
Clothes
I
you
could
can
bring.
wear,
Exactly, like the things
stuff
I could
like
wear.
that.
But this right here, because it says our very lives as ex-problem drinkers depend upon our constant thought of others and how we may help meet their needs. That's page 20. That's entry-level first step. And back then, when they wrote this book, ex-problem drinker, they consisted of 3 days. You were considered an ex-problem drinker at 3 days sobriety because you were done having the shakes.
Oh.
So as soon as you're done having the shakes, you're an ex-problem drinker. Now, when they talk about alcoholism, if I no longer am shaking from the detox of alcohol, my problem now is ism. Alcoholism, well, I've taken away alcohol. The problem now is ism, because this book also talks about that the problem is centered around our brain much as it is our body. So once my body part is solved, now it's up here. And the first thing I can start doing is my constant thought of others and how I may help meet their needs. And Mike, you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. You're constantly thinking about your daughters and how you can help meet their needs.
Yeah.
So this is a concept that you can bring anywhere. Like when I walk into a recovery center like Will Work, what can I do to help other people here? It could be as simple as when, like, who needs a ride? Like, oh, I can give a ride, right? Like, I don't want to give rides. Like, Jake wants to get in the truck and go straight home. But that's Jake, and Jake got himself here. So that's that entry-level stuff. So I don't know. Sean, you got any experience with that?
Well, bringing in my friend here today, that's one thing.
Other shoulder.
Other
Shoulder.
He's behind you.
Oh, I guess he's right there. I didn't know he was there. Just bringing him there today, and yeah, that's one thing. Bringing myself here. I started talking about coming here this morning around 8:30 this morning. So I talked about it in my group today. Started messaging him. Started messaging her, since we're both in separate housing right now. Sober housing is really good, by the way. I'm really happy where I'm at.
Where you at?
It's actually called Attitude for Gratitude.
It's actually called Attitude for
It
Gratitude.
is actually called Attitude for Gratitude.
Wow.
Yes.
That's another thing. There's no coincidences in the world.
Yeah. Today's numbers that was called for the ticket meeting, 777. My birthday, 9777. My grandson's born on the 7th. My wife's 8777. I knew I had to speak when my number was called. So I did. I got up. I said hello. Yeah, today's just the day that I'm glad I'm here. I feel better, and I like this place.
Yeah, early on, one of the things that whenever those things would happen, and I'd say it to my sponsor, he'd always stop and go, "Is it odd or is it God?" And I hated that in the beginning. I was like, "What do you mean? Is it odd or is it God?" It could be just a coincidence.
Yep.
Because I want to think about
Is it odd or is it God?
is it odd or is it
Yeah.
God? And the big thing I started learning in recovery, there's no such thing as coincidence.
It's oddly God.
It's
It's oddly God.
it's oddly
I
God.
like that.
Exactly.
It's oddly God because it's not odd or God.
Yep.
It's oddly God. It's always God. It always has something to do with that.
Yeah, that's what I said when we met too. So
Why would you
yeah,
do that?
it's not coincidence. So what it is.
So Maria, he said you guys are in separate housing right now. Where are you
Yes. First step recovery.
at? First Step Recovery?
Yep.
Where's that located?
That's in New Brighton.
New Brighton?
Yep.
Right on. So how long have you been there?
Technically 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep. I move in on the 14th. So on Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So
Easy to remember then, right?
yeah, exactly. That's actually our first date too when we met 12 years ago.
Really?
On Valentine's Day, we went our first day out, so it was our day. So I decided did that day exactly.
Well, that's
Yep.
cute.
Yep. So 12 years ago.
Sean, were you able to remember what day you went on your first date?
I remember our first Valentine's Day. It was at Acapulco's in Ramsey. But that wasn't our actual first date. Our first date
Yeah, but
was at a bar called Outpost. And it was in the morning because she had to work. And so we met in the morning, and she didn't think it was a date. She thought she was just meeting just to have breakfast together. And I felt butterflies in my belly. And yeah, one thing led to another, and now we're married.
Right on.
Yeah.
Did you have butterflies that day?
no, I did not. I honestly, no.
She's like, I was thinking about going to work. I had to work that day.
Yeah, no. And I know he brought his brother and his girlfriend. So it's like, you don't call a day when you another couples are there.
Well, they left as
Basically,
soon as you got there.
Yeah, so, but no, I didn't
He
have
was
butterflies.
nervous.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was nervous. Yeah.
He was nervous. I wasn't. And I wasn't even ready. I wasn't shower or nothing. So, yeah, that was just going out for dinner or whatever. You know, it was
breakfast.
a breakfast. So, yeah.
So early on, there was a question, and right now we'll just make it a yes or no. Sean, do you have a sponsor?
No.
No, I don't.
No sponsors?
No sponsor yet, no.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about it because I had a bad experience.
Stop thinking.
I had a bad experience, and I contacted one, and then they never called me back. So it's like, well, why do you volunteer to be a sponsor if you're not gonna call me back? And I left 5 messages, and they didn't call me. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I have a sponsor.
You got a
Oh, you
sponsor
do?
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got a sponsor earlier today.
My sister from Mexico is calling.
Oh,
Yeah, but she
wanna
doesn't
take it?
speak. She doesn't speak English, so I'll call her in a minute.
okay.
Yeah, so she knows I'm in live on Facebook.
So now that you said you don't have a sponsor, what are you gonna do about that?
I try to find on different meetings too, so maybe I can find someone there. So I don't know. I just started going here, so I'm still trying to go to more meetings and see where I can get there. Try to know people first.
If I call a woman right now and ask her if she, I can get to hook you guys up, would you take her as a sponsor?
Sure. Long
Really?
as it's a girl, not a guy.
It'd be a woman. It'd be my
Yeah.
godmother.
Oh, yeah.
I can call my godmother right now and ask her.
Absolutely, yes.
You want to do it
Yes.
on air?
If she wants to, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to
I'll-
give
I'll-
her name away, but I'll have
Okay.
her. I'll put it
Yeah.
on speaker.
Because I would love that.
Say, does Miss Gracie do sponsor?
I believe so.
Is she an angel? No, it's kidding. Sean.
Oh wait, my sponsor is just calling me.
Oh. You want a sponsor, Sean?
What?
You need a sponsor?
I will find one.
So you gotta find the right fit.
Yep.
I am. I'm
what it
live. I figured you're calling in for something really important. Do you want to be on speaker? All right. Are you with your wife? All right. Tell her this is actually part of a thing, so she needs to answer. Because it's live on air, so everyone sees me answering this phone on air right now. But I'm about to call her. So, all right, bye. All right. So he literally answered the phone. He goes, "I forgot you're doing a podcast." I was like, well, they're, odd or God, right? My sponsor is married to my godmother.
Oh.
That's
I can't
decent.
get away with anything unspiritual. If I start slipping, one of them is always on me. and it's great. It's actually a really great blessing because I have these people that love me enough to hold me accountable.
Live sponsorship.
Yeah, this is going to be the show of live sponsorship. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm not going to say your name because we're live on air, but I have a woman here. Her name's Maria.
Yes.
And she's looking for a sponsor, and she said, I need to make sure it's a female sponsor. And we've had already one live sponsorship on the show. Are you willing to sponsor a woman right now?
I'm unfortunately not able to pick up any more sponsees right now. However, I do have sponsees who are taking on sponsees.
Okay. Then you send me a number and I'll connect her.
Very good. I'll do that.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
This is like a community of
But she'll,
links.
there you go. So
That
she
works.
has her own
Yeah, like-
sponsees that she'll connect you with to
Okay.
be a sponsor.
Okay, and then I'll give him the number.
She's gonna send me one of their numbers, and I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, okay.
This is like
That's
getting
great.
plugs. This is what this is. This is like
Getting your grandma recovery at a time.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Isn't
Sean?
that what AA is all about?
Exactly.
You know, getting to know the people,
Right.
getting to know,
Yeah.
getting help with what you need, like sponsors,
Yep.
and just talking to people.
Exactly.
Get
Yeah.
stuff off your chest. You know,
Yes.
learn more. All
It's just,
the above.
It's just weird to me. It's just I'm getting into it. It's just
No, it's great because now I after going through the steps with a sponsor, I realize like what the real value is, and it's somebody that even though they've seen that they've heard the worst of the things I've done in my life, they understand what my character defects are. They still look me in the eye and say I love you.
it's decent.
You know, like that's the best part is that it's an unconditional type thing, and it's not like my sponsor's going to sponsor me until, right? Like it's
Right.
he'll sponsor me so long as I want it. So long as I want recovery, he will continue to sponsor me. He's made a few guidelines, like I'm not allowed to say the F word in church anymore.
That's probably a good one.
I said that one I can do, right? Like that was the only thing he said under one condition: you stop saying the F word in church. Because there was a meeting that we go to that's
Right.
in the basement of a church, and there'd be a couple times I'd let it fly. Like I'm not super bad about it, but he's looked at me and he said, "Can't say the Evenheimer for the 1 hour on Monday nights while we're here." I said, "Okay, I can do that, no problem." So Sean, what do you plan to do about with the sponsor situation?
Plan on continuing going to meetings and getting to know more people. So it's gonna come, just not quite yet.
What's holding you up?
More meetings, probably.
You got 91 days. How many more meetings do you want to go to before you find a guy that's going to sponsor you?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you'll find plenty of guys that'll sponsor you. When are you going to stop thinking about it and just say, all right,
I don't know yet. When I'm ready, I will.
I mean, you're ready to get sober, right?
Oh yeah.
You're ready to make the pain stop.
Yes. Ready to actually have something in my life. So there's already been some drastic changes that I've already done and some that are still coming. So yeah. I've been this meeting and then I'm gonna check out the Fridley Allen
All right.
and see how decent that one is. Otherwise, most of the meetings I've been doing have been online, and they're not that good online, if you ask me. It's better in person.
I've never tried to sponsor anybody online, but also, like, I haven't done online meetings. I need to be able to read a guy. I need to be able to see him, sit across the table from him face to face.
Face to face.
Have that interaction.
Eye connection.
And so that way I can also read body language. I can recognize when what we're talking about, there's some pain behind that. And we can say, like, I understand. Let's look into this. Because like it's not about trying to stay sober. It's not. It's really not. Like, and that's the one thing I really am very, very adamant about. This is not about sobriety.
And what it's about.
It's about living different.
Yep.
It's about living a different life that I no longer need to get high or drunk about. That I
Exactly.
don't need to have this release. I don't have to have this escape anymore. That's what it's about. This book right here tells me that what I have is a disease. And the side effect of the disease is drinking and drugging.
That's the first time I heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a side effect. Drinking and drugging is a side effect. It says that in the doctor's opinion before the first chapter, that that getting drunk is a side effect of the disease. So if I'm going to work against this disease, it means I'm going to live different. Because I got all these things going on inside me and drinking's on top of it. If I take away drinking, I still got all this stuff inside of me. If I take away the needle in my arm, I still got everything going on inside me. The things that make my head spin, the things that make me like curl up when I'm taking a shower and that, reminiscing about something and that I really hated the way it turned out, and all of a sudden I'm just full of remorse. Those moments, those are what's still inside me. That's why I need to learn to live different. This book, after page 51, it says, leaving the drink problem aside. After page 51, this book no longer talks to me about my drug and alcohol problem. It talks to me about my living problem and how I correct it. That's why it's powerful. The whole thing is not about sobriety. If the goal was sobriety, raise your hand if you woke up sober today.
Yeah. we
Right?
all did.
Yeah.
Goal accomplished. Why did we show up? If that was the goal, why did we show up? We woke up sober.
Now that you say that, I still don't know what I like to do. I know I like to sing and play with my kids, and
Yeah, there's a lot of things that started coming back where I'm like, oh yeah, I like doing those
yeah,
things.
I can shoot pool, I can do that, but I've never actually done those things sober.
Yeah. To learn to live different, sobriety is a prerequisite, so I can actually digest what my sponsor's trying to teach me in this book. Because this book was written in 1939, and it's a lot like algebra, right? I don't sit down and I go, here, Mike, read this book, and at the end of the semester, we're going to have a test on it, right?
Okay.
It's like algebra. I had to show up to class so that the teacher could tell me, all right, let's open our book to page this, and they'd go through and tell me what these things meant so that I could actually understand and digest them. And then start to apply what I've learned to, out of the book, just like in algebra. I didn't.
Are you saying algebra?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was algebra.
same thing.
You right.
I'm from the East Coast, so like things that I say I might say it wrong, but
Algebra?
algebra. I don't know. Like I also got told I say permit weird too.
Yeah, that's like my mom. She says aura for R. It's just aura.
Alright.
It's like a down south thing.
So I mean that. I went on another tangent. None of you guys stopped me again.
That had to make you realize you said algebra.
Either way, history, right? Or whatever it is. Like when we go to class, it's when we're in high school, I never was handed a book and said, like, best of luck to you. See you at the end of the semester. There'll be a test. Every time I had to show up, sit down, and the teacher would explain what's on the next page and what it means and how, here's today's lesson. And then they'd give me a little exercise to apply the lesson I learned so they knew that I understood it. Same thing in here, right? Like there's turning your will and your life over. Well, there's a prayer that we do. That's practicing it. And then it gives us a few little cliff notes on how we do this. And then, talking, because, that clean house part, well, now I'm going to do my inventory. This book says this is what we do. And then it gives us instructions. We laid this out on paper, right? We go through this. So it's all about trying to live differently. Sobriety becomes a side effect.
I'm kind of curious to know how good I'm going to be at frisbee golf after I'm not drunk while playing it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real thing, right?
Yeah, like
I used to love frisbee golf, but I used to always get high when I went out and frisbee golf.
what is frisbee golf? That's the cage thing. You throw it in
Yeah,
there.
you take a frisbee and you throw it at a cage.
Okay.
And
Yep.
you throw it towards the cage and you walk up, pick your frisbee up, throw it again, and
Yep. It's fun. It's a fun game.
I've always seen it in the parks. I'm like,
Yep. It's
what is the point?
what is the
yeah,
point?
it's fun.
try
But
it.
you need a lot of people to play because it's more fun.
Um,
Yeah.
It's not just one disc either.
Nope.
There are different weighted discs.
And if you're like me, you lose them.
Okay. Okay.
You lose them.
At least I used to, anyways. I'm thinking I might be actually pretty decent this year.
I used to play at a course out in Plymouth, and then it has a double water, and my ego was always so big about it because like I could watch my friends just do a perfect flick and get over the water, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. Well, the way I throw, I do the flick, I always get like this S curve, and then it comes back. Well, if I did it too high, it'd get caught up right here, and I'd watch it, and I'd go, damn it. And it'd come right down into the water every time. Because I had like this big ego. I'm like, I watch these guys do it. I can do it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's actually just like that with alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know.
What I always said is that if I put my mind into it, I can do it. That's why I always said if I have a goal that I'm gonna do it, I just gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like I always want to learn a second language, well, I know two now, but I wanted to learn Japanese. If I want to do it, I'll do it. I just put my mind into it. So I can learn anything I want. Just put my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's huge. Like buying in is huge, right? Like I got to
Yep.
be able to buy in and put my mind to it.
Yeah.
If you're like me, and I don't know if you are, in the book, it talks like this book right here that was written in the 30s that they haven't changed. It talks about if you are as seriously alcoholic as we were, the time will come where your mind, you're going to have strange mental blank spots and you have no defense against the first drink. They call it a hopeless condition. That's why that there's, many more pages after that one.
Yeah.
And they tell us how we get through that. But I can't think my way to stay sober. I tried.
No, that doesn't work.
I had, it's a program of action. I have to have action behind it. And, speaking of action, we have a person asking, what did you do for your recovery today?
Today, actually, I spoke live on a podcast. I usually don't even speak at meetings. That's one thing I've done today. I got up and went to New Way this morning, even though my cab was late. I spoke in group again today. Those are a couple of things. I talked some other people into coming with me here today. And just woke up saying, I know I can do it today. I was in a good mood and ready for it. So,
Right on. Maria, what did you do today for your recovery?
Well, I went to New Way also. I speak, and when we check in, we also did like a music. What's your part of do you do? Like you do music? I say I play guitar when I was young, but then you pick out your favorite music. It's about you, what it relates to you. So I had singing, so that was kind of fun, and yeah, then that's pretty much what I did today. So went there and came here. So
she had music therapy today. I wish we
Yes.
did. That girl that comes in
Yes.
that does it's pretty good.
and we do games too. So like Deputy and yeah, so it's kind of fun.
I go to the 3 R's. She goes to the other one on,
St. Paul,
in
St. Paul at New Way. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Not important. Mike, my brain was rolling there.
What?
What did I do for my recovery today? Every morning I do a meditation, 528 megahertz. I sit there and listen to that.
What does that do? You
It's
actually have my curiosity.
It's a frequency sound that helps you meditate and heals you and stuff like that. I do that every morning around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
is that like a static, like one of those sleep machines?
Yeah, I guess it's hard to explain. They got several different ones: 432, 528. Other ones that do certain things: manifestation, abundance, life, speaking, pretty much putting positive energy into yourself.
That's awesome, and it helps you set up your mindset for the day.
Yep. And then I went to New Way. I go to New Way every morning.
All three of you guys are in New Way?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
probably different
Yep.
locations. But yeah.
Right on.
And brought my girls with me.
They're learning the yo-yo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I brought Tyler, the yo-yo master.
Yeah, Tyler's right here.
Brett Tyler.
Tyler, yep.
Tyler, you call your sponsor lately? Yeah. Okay. That's all. Every day. Just because I know who your sponsor is.
Tyler's actually in my group with me at New Way.
Oh, right on.
Oh, really? You go to
Yep.
this? Okay.
So
I think he told you about this, right? Is that him?
he told me about the podcast, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah.
That's also who I learned about will work from.
It's Tyler.
From
Tyler,
Tyler?
yeah.
Oh,
Tyler's spreading the good word to everybody.
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
The yo-yo gospel.
Yep.
There's your niece up there, Maria.
Where is she? What's it say? Oh, Emily.
Yeah.
So proud of you both, Shauna and Maria. Nice. I can see that now. Like,
Let's see. Do you
Hi.
guys want a deep question, or do you guys want me to pull something out of the big book and we talk about it?
what's the deep question?
I haven't made it up yet.
Oh, you have to made it up? Okay. How about we ask you a question? No, he's kidding.
Sure.
got one?
Go ahead.
I don't know. Okay. How long do you say you were sober?
I accomplished 2 years on Wednesday.
2 years? Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
You went through New Way?
I did not. I was very hard-headed, and I was full of ego and pride.
oh,
And I said I can do this on my own, and I sat at home, and fear kicked in because I was an addict to fentanyl, among other things, right? But I got terrified of what the withdrawals were going to be. That I took. They prescribed me Suboxone for the first 90 days of my sobriety. So I took it too early and put myself in precipitated withdrawal, to which then I was screaming, trying to either get into a detox or whatever else. My wife was like on the phone with like 3 different ERs and hospital clinics, and they're like, nothing we can do for him now.
He's
Put him-
just lay there.
Yeah, he put himself in precipitated withdrawal. What are we gonna do? Give him more Suboxone, the thing that just put him in precipitated withdrawal? We can't make him comfortable in any way. The best we would do is just make sure he's staying on fluids. And my wife's like, "Well, I can do that."
I can do that.
Yeah, so that was my experience, and then I think that lasted for like 26 hours. Sweaty bed sheets, just weak, sick. And when I finally got out of bed, it was I had 2 feelings. One was in my heart, and one was in my head. And my head said I need to get high and find get more, and my heart said I can't do that again. So I left the house sweating, and I walked into an Alano. And I sat at that Alano from 1 p.m. to like 9 p.m. that night. But it probably would have been a lot simpler had I just been like, yeah, I can't do this on my own. I need to go somewhere and gone through a treatment facility.
I actually tried by myself as well. I tried to sober up in a hotel room after she had already went into treatment, and yeah, I ended up drinking. As soon as I got off the phone with her, I was getting drunk at night, and after about a week of that, it was time. That's when I knew I needed to go into a treatment center.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I don't so much mean I did it alone. I just detoxed alone. Like after that, I was right in meetings and Alano's recovery centers, wherever I could be. That in the beginning, just to be safe, because I was sweating and I just wanted to be surrounded by people that understood.
yeah.
It's my wife. She didn't know. My wife's like the most normal person there is out there. She like smoked weed one time and she got paranoid. She's like, I don't like that.
Yep, that's me.
I'm like, I don't get it. And like
Nope.
she'll drink a little. Like I watched this woman while we were on vacation. She got all excited. She's like, can I drink? And I'm like, I don't care. You're not like I'm not going to, like, whatever, right? Like I'm telling her, I'm like, it's fine. So she orders a Long Island because she doesn't drink. I'm like,
Why would she do that?
well, she
Yeah.
got halfway through and she's like, I feel real buzzy. I don't like this anymore. She puts it down. I'm like,
You
That's
just
control.
What? Yeah.
I was like, you don't like the buzzy? What are you doing?
Is she a normie?
Oh,
She's a
like
normie.
terrible, like
Oh.
normal. Like I
Yeah.
guess I don't know what normal is, but I know like my normal and that aren't lining up.
Yep.
So you look at that and like she's a psychopath.
I'm looking at her and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She's like, I want to be able to enjoy the vacation and I don't like being buzzed up. And she's like, I really wanted to go see this other thing and I'm going to, order a water so that I can be able to walk it off. I'm just like,
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I don't get it.
Is it weird or is it not weird? Like, I'm confused. Like,
To us,
like,
to us, for our mind,
for
we're
us,
like, that's
no.
weird because
Well, yeah.
the normal that we know, we believe that to be normal. As it's like, well, once you start buzzing, you got to get through that because you're right there to the next part.
just go to the next level.
You're, yeah, the next spot's coming up.
That's crazy.
But for her and people that aren't alcoholics or addicts or have whatever type of reaction that we have, they go, "Oh yeah, once I'm at that point, I'm good." What?
Yeah, that's like, I'm not a drinker. I never really have been, but that's
Yeah, I
just-
wasn't a drinker. I was much more into the drugs, but I also did discover like drugs plus a little alcohol like intensified both effects.
Yes,
So,
it does.
like that's where my brain goes, where I'm like, well, if one is good, two is better. That's our mentality where we're like, oh yeah, I get that. Like my wife, she's like, I don't get that. Nope. If one is good, then one's good. I don't need two. Like I don't understand. I don't understand. Did you have any more questions for me? I guess like
No,
no,
I don't. You?
because I can
No,
just.
it's your
I was about to say,
turn.
let's hear this
That's-
really hard question, deep question that you was
Oh,
gonna
no.
ask.
You want like the really hard, deep questions?
Yep. What's this about?
I gotta make one up. Like usually, I have some prepared pretty well.
That's beautiful, baby.
Bring that home, put it on the fridge.
I'm like, that's beautiful. She's like, I know.
Are they twins?
No, they're 15 months apart.
Oh,
Wow, they're like as they're walking away, like they're the same height, and I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
Yeah, my kids are a little grown. The youngest that we have is 21, 22 this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna build a compound for them so friends can come and visit them. You know? Is that a bit outrageous?
That sounds like
Sounds decent, doesn't it?
institutional.
They're gonna have everything right there.
Sounds like jail.
It's not jail.
They got everything right there, right? They got the 3 hots and a cot. They've got
And
the yard,
snacks. They're
and
gonna have like a trampoline.
They got snacks there.
They don't have snacks in jail.
I had a buddy who used to tell me, like, yeah, you know those pickled sausages? I'm like, gross. He's like, no, those are great.
He had to buy that.
Yeah.
I was in Indiana. One noodle was $1.50.
I think they're more than that now.
Like, it was crazy.
like
Like a pack of noodles was $35. They're gonna have free food,
Yeah, but you got to pay for it. You're still
but it's gonna be free to them. It's gonna-
Hey, you know, I don't have kids, so I have no idea what it's like, and I have no idea what to be like, oh, yeah, do this for
They're
your
not
children.
just kids; they're girls. Have you
Oh, yeah.
looked at? It's 2024.
yes, girls.
Society is crazy.
I
Right
can openly say I have no idea what it's like to be a parent, let alone a parent of daughters.
Yeah, that's like I used to be a womanizer. It was, I'm not gonna lie, and that's changed ever since they was born. It was like, man, like, dude, I fucked up.
My daughter was 14 when she came home with her first tattoo. She tattooed a little heart on her arm. Yeah, 14.
A heart?
A little heart on her arm.
For
little-
who?
Her little boyfriend did it for her.
This man is like so in dad mode. He's like, for who?
Her little boyfriend did it for her with a little
Oh,
pin
wow.
and ink.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you ready
exactly
for that?
why the compound. They're not
Are you
gonna.
ready for
They're not
that?
gonna have any of that. There's gonna be a cage. It's probably gonna be electrical. I haven't I haven't debated on that yet.
I'm going to work my ass off so I can afford guards at every corner.
Exactly. Like,
Wow.
Monitored cameras.
yeah,
They're not going to be allowed out.
not at all. We're gonna go on field trips. I mean, outings, whatever it's called. Like,
Supervised release.
if they do get a boyfriend, he has to have both parents, at least the father around, something. Like, it's gonna be standards.
How are they going to meet a boyfriend if they're locked on the compound?
He's like,
Exactly.
Exactly.
I gotta go pick them.
There's going to be
And-
tunnels.
It's gonna no, it's not.
There's going to be
gonna-
tunnels.
No, there's gonna be electric wires in the ground. Now that you say that,
We're just helping him build a better compound now.
Yeah.
They're
He's
gonna
like, you know
find a
what?
way.
Second thought, box in the ground.
yeah. And they're gonna have interviews, family interviews, everything like that. So
Wow. Well, one is listening. So.
she's always listening.
Yep. That's.
Always.
She's a smarter one.
Yeah, she is always listening.
Yep.
She's the responsible one, but she's the younger one.
Wow. See.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it is. Yep.
And she's like super chill.
Like she's super active.
You know those are the ones you have
active.
to worry about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are called trap children. Those are the ones that trap you into the mindset of like, oh, we should have another one.
Yeah. She's
No,
chill.
thank you.
You're like, yeah, my youngest is so chill and well balanced, and
Yeah,
maybe
but
I should have another kid.
no, like you have to worry about her chill though. It's like she's always watching.
Oh, so now I got a question for you about your kid.
Yeah.
So I had two buddies that had similar type personality children, where like they're very chill, but they're ruthless.
See, my oldest one, she's non-violent. Like she's.
Oh, they're
super sweet.
non-violent. It's the the responses out of their mouth where they'll say like damn it, and you're like, whoa, that was ruthless, and but you have to giggle under your breath.
Yeah. So like, my oldest one, she goes everywhere and she touches everything. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna chop your hands off and sell them on eBay. and she's like, what's eBay? She says, a place where they sell hands. Duh. I was like,
So yes, the now it's 3 for 3 of children I've heard that have that kind of chill where they just have those ruthless responses.
yeah.
Yeah. Now that well, thank you for confirming. Now
Yeah.
the-
Have kids. They're great.
the data continues. Hey, I've tried, right? Like it's not from a lack of trying. They just don't appear.
They just don't appear.
They just don't,
You can do inseminations.
I think that might be the next protocol, but also I'm also being in recovery, I have that mentality a little bit of if it was meant to be, it would be, right? I'm like, well, if I wasn't supposed to, maybe I'm not supposed to.
Me and my ex-wife, we tried for a long time, and we went on this vegan trip. Soon, I'll say about 3-4 months in, boom,
I got to be vegan for 3 or 4 months.
it's hard. At least change your diet up.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
They got plenty of
Vegan
kids.
or organic. We went from organic to vegan.
Oh.
And then we did that for almost a year, and it was dude, I can't do this anymore. And within it was back to back. It was all right, we're done.
How long did you try for?
2 years.
Well, I'm already got that beat. It's been 5.
Yeah, you might want to change up the diet, man. Health is wealth.
Health is wealth, and I guess diet wise, I don't monitor it clearly, right? I'm a big dude, but I take care of the mind and the spirit and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe physical is the next step, right? Because I'm always trying to level up my my sponsor says the next level recovery. How do we keep leveling up? And that might be it.
Download the Water app.
The Water app.
Yeah. it
What's
is.
on the what is on the Water app?
The Water app, it is you put in your weight and your height and all this other stuff, and it'll tell you how much you have to drink in the morning to build up your metabolism.
And this is just about water?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna got my trusty dusty phone here. It's not dusty, but you know what I mean. So okay, the Water app. There we go. Got it.
And it'll tell you how much to drink in the morning. It'll build up your metabolism, and without even trying, you'll start losing weight, and then you'll want to go more after that.
Cool. All right, I figured out a question though.
We're listening.
I lost it. I'm kidding.
Oh man. Oh no.
What is your next level? What is your next the next thing to accomplish in your recovery?
Well, next thing that I'm shooting for is I am at halfway right now in New Way. I am working on, I filled out a PSN, so stabilization and living. I would like to eventually be living with my wife again. That is my next step. Find out where I'm going to be living so I can find an area where I can go to a meeting. I'll probably still come back out here because I really like this place actually. But wherever I end up moving, I'm going to be finding a new group around that area. I myself, I don't drive. I leave that on my wife. So, but I don't want to be going to the same meetings as her. So if I got to find one that's within walking distance of wherever I'm going to be moving to. So I haven't quite found a home meeting yet.
Gotcha.
So,
So maybe that should actually be the next one is to find a home meeting.
right, but I got to find a home first.
Yep.
It's
You're
in
jumping the
works.
gun here.
As long
It's
as
in the
there's
works.
roads to it, right? Like we
Yeah.
can get
There
there.
is. Yeah, it's in works. I mean, I've already, I applied for this almost 5 weeks ago. So I mean, it will be within the next couple of weeks that this is going to happen. So things are about to take a good leap pretty quick. So as far as that, and I do have a truck. My wife and I have a truck, but we just can't drive it yet. We need to put a little work into it. Needs a little TLC. So
What?
Welcome back, Miss Gracie.
okay.
You know y'all not supposed to be drinking pop, man. Pop causes cancer. You know that, right?
What?
Maria,
Yes.
what's your next? What's the next step for your recovery? What are you looking? What's the next thing to accomplish?
My relationship with my kids. So that's what I want to be. My next step is for that.
Is it pretty strained at this point,
Um,
or is it to build onto?
build into more.
Build
Yeah,
One of
'cause
them
I'm
is
out-
very
it's, yeah.
strained.
So yeah, and also finding a meeting to close where I am too, like a home meeting, you know. But I do like coming in here too. So
Right
you
on.
know, until we can live together again, you know. So
Well, if you guys aren't doing anything on Sunday, I'd like to invite you to my home group.
oh,
And-
where is that at?
It's at the Robbinsdale LNO
Oh,
at 6
Robbinsdale.
p.m. It's mixed, open big book, and there's men and women there that sponsor.
Oh.
And chances are you might meet the
The sponsor.
or the person that's I'm going to give you their number of.
Okay.
So invite you guys there. Open invitation. You don't have to give me an answer right now. Mike, you're also invited.
Eleanor?
Robbinsdale.
Robbinsdale,
Robbinsdale.
LNO,
Robbinsdale,
6 p.m.
Okay. Sounds decent. There's another Eleanor, isn't it?
There's Eleanor's
it's
everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere, yeah. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
Robbinsdale is just my home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that place, and it's they took me in when I was lost and sweating and shaking, and so that's my place.
That's dope.
Yes. I was gonna complicate something, and I don't know why I had to do that.
Just thinking.
Just thinking.
Gotta stop it.
Why don't you ask a question then? What do you got?
Besides the shakes and sweating and stuff, what was the hardest thing to get over and the thinking?
The hardest thing to get over?
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest thing to get over was thinking that I knew it all, because when I came back 2 years ago, it was not my first attempt. I went to my first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting when I was 15 years old. I had just gotten in more big trouble at school and got expelled. So my parents, my father really, he came to me and he said, "Here's your two choices. you're either going to go to military school or you're going to Teen Challenge. And at the time, Teen Challenge was 2 years. So it was like a 2-year inpatient living, or go to military school for the next 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was going to be. And like the alcoholic that I am, I said, can I counter? Right. And be, I might have mentioned this earlier. I'm in sales. So I negotiated. I negotiated, baby. And I came back at him and I was like, well, I don't want to do either one of those things. So what if I find a school to get into that'll take me and I stay sober and stay out of trouble? And he came back with my mom about 3 hours later and he said, okay, but if you mess up, you're going to military school, because that was his choice. His choice was military school. My mom's choice was to go to like long-term treatment, and they gave me the option, and I was like, no, I'll do this. Well, Dad said, you mess up, that's where you're going. So I stayed sober for the rest of my high school experience, and I went to meetings and I stuck around, and I think I had like a slip somewhere in there, but I like immediately told my dad, I'm like, hey, I messed up, but I talked to my sponsor, I'm doing all this. I was like, it was a mistake, and he actually appreciated my honesty and how I came forward to him like the very next morning about because I had remorse, and I told him, I was like, I'll go if you want me to, and he respected I manned up, right, like that was how he saw it, I think, and but I stuck around, and when I was 20, I moved out and did some more field experimentation. So, but prior to that, I had a sponsor. I was sober and in the program for close to 3 years. I went to meetings. I sat down. I read. I didn't get all the way through the book in 3 years, which was the testament of how much I always had resistance or had an excuse why I couldn't meet this week or do this that time. But I got to my 10th step. So I got to the first 86 pages of the book. And went back out and I would think that with all the knowledge that I had, I would have figured it out quickly. It took me 10 more years. So 10 more years of doing that, I came back. That was the hardest thing, is when I came back, is not thinking I already knew it all. I had to clear my mind, because that's another thing that talks about in how it works, is we had to lay aside what we think we know. And that was the hardest thing, is to lay aside the ego of I know how this is, I know how this works, I know how to be sober, I know how to do the steps, I know how to be a good person in recovery. And the truth was I didn't. I was there just as beaten and bruised as ever. So. Yeah. What about you, Sean?
You just made me think about something else, but I already know I'm beaten and broken, but what I was actually thinking about, I knew I definitely had a problem, when I went to the Mall of America. I was actually just talking about this earlier. Went to the Mall of America. We go up to the 4th floor where I wanted to see if the comedy club was open. It wasn't. So we're walking through the 4th floor. The bar Hooters is up there. I'm a guy. Where should I be looking? The Hooters.
Obviously.
I'm looking at the beers on the table that aren't touched as I'm walking by. And I'm like, we gotta go. And I didn't even look at any of the girls. I'm looking at the beers on the damn table. And then
Aren't you proud, Maria?
we walked away.
I was suggesting the food, but he was looking at the beers. It didn't faze me at all. But yeah, so.
So that was the hardest thing in the beginning, is just seeing the alcohol, being around it.
That was one of the. I mean, it's not. It's all over everywhere. It's on TV. It's everywhere. It's just at that moment, walking by, seeing open beer less than 2 feet from me, brand spanking new on a table. That was a little hard. So, I mean, that's the first time it's been that close where I could have said, hey, I want one, No, we just ended up leaving. Once we got out that floor, everything was fine, but that was probably one of the harder triggers that you know, realization that, holy shit, I really do have a problem. That was like an eye opener. I mean, when I catch myself doing stuff like that, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was an eye opener. That's when I knew that it's time. I mean, that when you catch yourself doing stuff like that, that's a hell of a trigger.
The show's over at 10. That
Oh,
helps.
Yep. Good.
No, I try to keep content going until 10 o'clock. So,
Oh, okay.
um,
Well, can finish that. Yeah.
Maria, what was the hardest thing for you? From Mike's question, what was the hardest thing for you when you got sober?
The hardest thing, well, for me is I have mental issues, so for me it was time to quit because I can't have just one drink. You know, it leads to one more, and I just want to have a happy life and live, you know, and I just realized that that's not for me anymore, you know. It's just didn't get me anywhere or gets me in trouble, you know, and it's just hard. For me, it was just that hard, especially it was Thanksgiving Day, and I went to the hospital and did DTATs, and I should be grateful to, you know, it was Thanksgiving. Instead, I was drunk, so that day for me was like I'm done. So that was like when I know I'm done. I can't do this anymore, you know. So I had to gain help and then go into inpatient treatment for 3 months. So it's NU in St. Paul. So, but I just won't ever forget it was Thanksgiving Day. So you know, because it's just that was my day. I decided just I'm done, you know, because I had so many issues that I need to face it and be sober, you know, and so that's what it was for me. So, yeah,
Awesome.
yep.
Who do we have here?
This is Zoya.
Zoya?
Say hi.
On the mic, we can't hear you say hi.
Say hi.
Hi, Zoya. How old are you?
Good.
Good.
Say how old are you?
7.
7. Well, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. Oh, is this the shy one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will be back. I have to run to the bathroom.
Sure.
Well,
Maria, do you got a
because-
question you want to
done?
ask?
Well,
You
no,
want to sit on there and talk?
I'm good.
That's your open.
Yeah, that's the open mic.
Oh, there she
There
comes.
she is.
Open mic. Oh,
Hi.
All right, so who do we have?
Tell them your name and your age.
I'm Zion and I'm 8 years old.
Zaya, 8 years old.
Zion.
Zion,
Yeah.
welcome to the show.
There you go. You right?
Oh, there she is. Look, you're on the.
You don't know who hand's been on that.
Yes, I do.
No, came from a
My
factory.
hands.
Somebody else's hand.
Close
had
her
to
down.
bring it
Start
in.
getting some attitude for
Think about
gratitude.
it.
Gotcha.
No one
All right, so
else's
real
hand.
quick, let's get you right here on the mic and tell me what you're thankful for.
Go ahead, tell them. Tell them what you're thankful for.
It can be short. It's okay. What are you thankful
What are you
for?
thankful for?
Dada.
Thankful for Dada?
oh.
How about you? What are you thankful for?
My family.
Your family? That's so sweet.
Yeah, weird.
Mike, what's your gratitude?
I'm thankful that I am an active father. Oh my God. I am thankful for being an active father and being able to say that I was in their life the entire time. The hardest time was in jail.
By the mic. We both at the
So
mic.
go, girl.
Maria, let's get your gratitude. What are you thankful for today?
For my family and to be alive. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Awesome.
Yep.
Who's a friend in the audience?
That's John.
John,
John
come up here and
Brass.
give me your gratitude.
Come on, John. Talk to the microphone.
John, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm grateful for not having any alcohol or drugs in me today.
Awesome.
24 hours. But I'm grateful for everything.
Well,
So it was.
we're grateful
If
that
I would
you're
have just
here.
been sober, I wouldn't have been to jail. I wouldn't have been. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Have a great night, bro.
Thanks,
Yep,
you too.
Thank you. So,
Sean, we got to get
Sean.
your gratitude before we shut down.
yep. What are you thankful for?
So tell me what you're grateful for.
I am grateful for my children, my grandchildren, my family, my beautiful wife, my friends, and another chance.
Right on. Tyler,
Wow.
come give us your gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for yo-yos and all of you yo-yos out there.
Thanks, Tyler. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Maria. And thank you, Mikey, for being on the show tonight.
No problem.
I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. You got without everyone that is involved and gives us their feedback. So Lisa, Dee, Dustin, the family members that checked in, like Emily. We appreciate all of you. Really thankful to have the people that stay involved. But before I give my gratitude, Timmy, what's your gratitude?
My gratitude speaks when I care and when I share with others the recovery way, that no person in recovery goes without the thing that we've already found. So what I get to do is give back to others who haven't got what I've got and try to give them what I've been given, which been given to me so freely. No, I'm so full of shit, but that is seriously.
That was so rehearsed.
No, that's the NA statement. It's there.
Oh, that's the NA statement?
My gratitude speaks when we care and when we share the NA way, that no addict seeking recovery need ever die from the horrors of addiction. That's the NA. So no, my gratitude sounds like this. I'm upright, I'm breathing, I'm alive. I've got assets today. Someone brought up assets not too long ago on the show, and like I always thought of assets as my bank account, my motorcycles, the roof over my head, this, that, and the third. And then I really started thinking about it. It's like, you're an asset to me. Jake, you're an asset to me. This place is an asset to me. Assets nowadays are so much different than what they look like to me years ago, 6 months ago. What type of assets I think about now are ones that saved my life, and I'm talking about people. It was this fellowship that kept me clean and sober. It's this fellowship that kept me coming back, that kept me engaged in a different way of living. My biggest fear before getting into recovery was, what am I going to do to fill my time? How am I going to pass time? Because all I do now, 24/7 hours a day, 24/7 hours a day, 24/7 is get high. Everything revolved around getting high, selling dope, getting dope, selling dope, getting dope, 24/7. So I had this fear of like, what am I going to do? Like, if I stop, I won't have shit to do. How do I live? And it's nowhere near. It was the devil. It was my head playing tricks on me. Like, you guys showed me that there's a whole nother life out here. There's life. Like, I know I'm making it sound like there's life, but there is. Like, this shit we had before we started picking up when I was 12 and 11 and 10, and I could maintain a whole day of fun and like engaging and living life without some type of substance or chasing some illegal shit, was what I didn't know was still out here. And there is. Like, I'm grateful for having some type of life that someone else showed me that there is. I didn't know there was some fun to be had. I didn't know we can come, like, this podcast stuff. This is cool. This is fun. Also, though, like, going out to do some fellowship stuff, like going fishing sober was fun. I had fun. Like, I remember the thrill of the catch and the and like, I forgot about all this shit that I loved. I had all these hobbies. I had these things I enjoyed doing, and they all took a back seat to my addiction. And it's like, I'm grateful today that, like, I realized there's so much more fun. I told you, the first time I shed some tears was basically I was riding my motorcycle by myself on my way home from Arkansas, and, like, I pulled my bike over because for some reason I was just like, I'm cool with who I am. I know it sounds weird, never thought but I was okay with the way my life was going. I was okay with who I am in life. And I was no relationship. I really didn't have shit. But it's like, this life of recovery and what other people have shown me, like, I'm grateful for that. Like, my gratitude speaks when I care and when I share with others the recovery way. Jake, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for this community that's been built up, and I didn't realize how strong it was. Speaking of which, slap some mojo on that.
Oh, wait.
What?
This is a 2-year chip.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get your 2-year chip?
Wednesday.
And I didn't have it in my phone, nor did I reach out to you. And
I shot you a message on Thursday saying you were going to be at the meeting because I was going to ask you to present me, but
look at that. It's not in my...
it's okay. I'm not.
It is okay. And you know what?
But
Jake, I'm going to cock block you for a second. I'm going to present this to you. Or I'm going to just say a couple of words about Jake. Jake is someone that I've seen at New Hope Alano. Jake is someone that I've seen show up in recovery. You have shown up in recovery. When you speak, I listen. I want to say people listen, but you have sustenance. You have some weight behind the words you say. The night meeting after the men's meeting, I've heard you sharing there. I've seen you have positions. You're running the Minax or the young people at heart. You're doing the stuff at Robbinsdale. And then Dan K gave me some info about you before recovery type, Jake. And like, don't scoot out yet. Like if you don't know Jake, come up here and get to meet Jake. Come to New Hope Alano, go to Robbinsdale Alano. You can run into Jake. Like, this dude rides a motorcycle with dolphins on it.
I do.
It's a badass bike, but there's dolphins all over it. That has nothing to do with why you're clean today, but like, I haven't done step work with you, and I haven't gotten deep into recovery with you, but you stepped up for this. You've stepped up at different clubs. You've stepped up for different committees. Like, what you're doing in 2 years is huge. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're being of service. You know all the right shit to say. You've got a family. You know how to talk. You're a salesman. You know how to do this bullshit.
I am.
But you're putting in work behind it. Like, that's huge. Anyone out there, and if you don't know Jake, get to know him. Like, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. This is fucking huge.
Thank you, brother.
Like, this didn't come overnight. This isn't just shit that you just get. You can buy it online, but you don't just get it. Oh, there, I did switch it. See this? That's deuce. Good job, Jake. I'd love to present this to you at any meeting.
Thank you.
Congratulations, brother. Now, tell us how you did it.
Well, quickly about the gratitude. I'm grateful for, like I said, with the community. I had 107 people reach out to me that day. I did not get much work done on Wednesday, and that was fine. It was, I felt so incredibly loved, and it was something that I didn't experience prior to. So that being said, the way I did it was in the very beginning, I just said yes, because that was what my sponsor that I was told to get, I was told to get a sponsor. He said, when AA asks, you say yes. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. When they said we need someone to stay and clean up the tables, I said, I'll do that. That's how it started, right? And then they said, we need someone to make coffee before the meeting. Well, they gave me a reason to show up before the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And start talking to the people that are there, and had me some accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's teaching you in the very beginning when you take on a commitment. And it keeps me involved, keeps me there. And then as that progressed, honestly, working with other people.
Working with others. We're going to learn about commitment soon.
I have learned from every single sponsee that I've ever had, and I tell them, I keep it very open that they're going to contribute more to my sobriety than I might contribute to theirs.
Just like I was telling you.
And each one of those guys that I get to sit down with, I have a 100% success rate with sponsees. 100% because I stayed sober. So that's how I did it.
You're the man, Jake.
Gave it away.
Did you already talk about your gratitude?
Yes, I did.
If you're out there tonight and you're struggling, like, please reach out. You listen to Jake, you listen to Mike, you listen to the married couple. You guys have heard us all share tonight. But the main thing, like, we are up here doing some recovery. 2520 North 2nd Street will work for recovery. Jake is part of Robbinsdale Alano, part of New Hope Alano. We've talked about both those places. We've talked about St. Paul tomorrow, the Chili Fest, where Sam's going to be speaking. There was also another flyer somebody handed me. It's confronting the opiate epidemic tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Shiloh Temple International Ministries. That's 1201 West Broadway in Minneapolis. Otherwise, there's a 10 a.m. Narcotics Anonymous meeting at Iktami Tattoos you can check out. But what I'm getting at is there's so much recovery out here, and not so much as all of the 2 years or the 6 years, or it's today. You can go catch yourself 24 hours today, tomorrow, any day you want. But we're talking about this happiness. Like, it's out here for the taking. You deserve some happiness. If you're struggling, please reach out. You're worth it. If no one's told you today, let me be the one. I love you, and you're loved. You can close it down. However you want. I just had to say my little 2 cents.
I mean, that's the best way to close down. We thank everybody that tuned in, that gives us feedback. Without the community, there's no show. So thank you guys all for tuning in, hearing me ramble. And again, like Tim said, if nobody told you, Tim told you. I love you. We're so glad that we have this opportunity. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Hell yeah.